Brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
I've told you, Jill, it's no longer bright in these mornings. It's 0.02 above zero. That's right. 7 a.m. Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Monday morning. We are getting close to that breakthrough into winter. It snowed a couple times. Hasn't stayed. But it rained all day on Sunday and Saturday, and it was just kind of miserable.
Our friends to the south have already beat us there.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of funny.
Good. Just like Alberta likes it. Blanketed in a sea of white. This morning, at Mornings at the Cabin, we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. I wrote up college years on there. I have something to share over the weekend. It's not the most happy thing, but I wanted to reflect on some things this morning. Okay. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was relaxing.
Oh, nice.
It was a little screwed up after Friday night. Binge watched all of Big Mouth Season 3.
I watched an episode this morning. I'm 4 episodes in.
Oh, so good.
It's so good.
So good.
It's ridiculously good. We can't say any of the lines we love.
No.
On this air.
No.
At all.
No.
But, it's a great show. You should check it out. So, yeah, Friday night, what did we do Friday night? Had ribs Friday night.
Ribs?
Hung out.
For lunch?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
What? No, for dinner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why you're not picking your teeth.
That's right. I'm not picking my teeth anymore. And Saturday night, went out to Adam's birthday party.
Yes.
And his wife Kristen's birthday party as well.
And housewarming.
It was wonderful.
Big night.
Yeah, lovely house. Hot tubbed it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday, rehearsal and just kind of, I got some news over the weekend. We'll get into it in the first break. Mornings at the Cabin. The NWT. We can have $4 million in debt and still be in a position of power.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Over the weekend, I lost a friend over the weekend. On Saturday night, I heard that a friend of mine that I'd done shows with back in the day suffered a stroke last week and was on life support over the week and then passed away on Saturday night.
Oh, wow.
So found out Sunday morning when I got home from Adam's birthday party, going through Facebook and whatnot. And,
right.
Saw the post, and so since then have been kind of sharing with all these friends of mine just good memories and things like that. Hadn't seen him in a few years. He was living in El Salvador, and hadn't talked to him. Well, I talked to him last year. Yeah, last year. So one of those things that you share something with somebody, and you're close friends for a great many years. So it was interesting. Interesting. It was sad, obviously, but everybody's sharing their memories, and it made me realize that I didn't have the traditional college experience. I went to theater school for a little bit, a year, and and then after that, did private acting classes and got into my acting career that way. But
I
one
think
of the
that's
things
traditional for theater school,
it can,
right?
Yeah, no,
it
was supposed to be 2 years.
Okay.
And I was there for a year. I had a bad attitude then. I have a bad attitude now.
And we love you for it.
So one of the things I did do after college was work at a dinner theater. Mm-hmm. For years, I worked at this dinner theater called Jubilations Dinner Theater. There's Celebrations in Winnipeg, and then there's 2 in Alberta, 1 in Calgary, 1 in Edmonton.
Right.
And so what you would do in these shows, either you'd work for the theater as what they called additional cast, because it was interactive dinner theater. So everyone that was a server was also a character kind of in the world of the show.
Right.
And then there were the people who were in the show. And it's cheesy as all get out.
Yeah.
It's the theater that when you get out of theater school, you're like, I don't ever want to. You have a real attitude about it. And then I did it, and it turned into this wonderful thing that I did for nearly 5 years. Did 4 shows. 2 shows I did the full run, which was I did 18 months of show in 21 months. So traveling and doing shows every night, doing hundreds of shows. And one of the shows I did was Canadian Disco Idol. Oh my God. So I played one of the judges, and it was, looking back on it, kind of problematic. But one of the people in that show that I toured with for 10 months was this man named Josue Martinez, and we did not like each other off the bat. The first run, we did not like each other. We were in Winnipeg. So you go to Winnipeg, Edmonton, then Calgary. You travel for 10 months. You do these shows every night. And but around Edmonton, I was in a bad place in Winnipeg, so I didn't really interact with anybody.
Yeah, Winnipeg can do that.
That's right. But around Edmonton, we all started to kind of hang out a little bit more, and he was sassy AF, man.
Right.
This man was sass personified. It was wonderful. He was this wonderful performer, opera trained singer, great improviser, wonderful actor. Well, and so I remember him and everybody sharing these like sassy moments, like where he would be like, "Excuse me, who are you?" That kind of thing. But he would do it in a way that was very, very funny. And I remember him saying to me during the Edmonton run of Canadian Disco Idol that he was like, "I finally like you." I'm like, "I finally like you too." So everybody's sharing these like very Josue kind of memories, and I know no one out there really here that's listening to us knows him, but I just wanted to impart that that my college experience was this dinner theater that we in equal parts loved and hated while we were in it, because it was so. It just was what it was, and like the shows weren't always great, but the people were. Yeah. So we have this unique community of people, hundreds of people that we've worked with, that somehow who I haven't talked to in years. That like Sunday morning at 2:00 in the morning, I texted, it's 4:00 where they are, it's 1:00 in the morning where they're. Hey, are you up? Did you hear about Josue? And talked for a couple hours, and then yesterday all morning long talking, trying to figure out what we can do. His celebration will be in El Salvador, but we're going to try to figure out something for Edmonton or Calgary, just kind of get together, have some drinks or whatever. But it was interesting to reconnect with some of those people, even though you haven't seen them in a long time. You get that with like old friends, but like people that you worked with, sometimes it doesn't go that way, but this is that kind of unique place that happens that way. So it was an interesting Sunday.
No kidding.
Tough one. But he was, he was like early 40s. Not very old, like a young man, like not a young man, but I mean young for a stroke.
Yeah,
and so that was it made Sunday pretty tough, and I'm still thinking about it now, obviously. But like just kind of going through all the memories and like sharing a laugh with people. These are some of the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
great improvisers, great actors, and to not know where we were going from that point.
Yeah,
15 years ago, 10 years ago, I haven't worked in that place in over 10 years. But to see where some of us have gone, like some of us have gone on to do some really great things, and some have, transitioned away from acting, but we all still have this shared moment.
Yeah.
And even if we get together now, people who aren't acting and some people who are, we'll still get together and like, and shtick, which is what we'd call like be on and do bits and things like this. So it was, it was a little tough, but some nice memories to be shared there for sure. And I mean, obviously condolences to him, his family and everyone who knew him. So I just wanted to share that. Like, I was thinking about my college experience, and my college experience wasn't being at school. My college experience was being
most people's college experience isn't being at school.
Why is that?
Well, you don't go because you're in college and you have too much freedom.
That's right. But you kind of find a core group of people who party a lot. You have a similar understanding because you're all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
But that was my college experience. It was like, getting to the theater at 2:00 in the afternoon, working till 2:00 in the morning, playing poker or partying until 6 a.m. and then getting up and doing it all again. Back when we had literally no worries, only had to like get enough money and tips to pay your rent, and that was it. Yeah. Because you just lived at the theater. That's where you did, that's where you lived, and that's where you loved. And, so it was interesting reflecting on that. I hadn't thought about that in depth in quite a while, even though I still have many close friends from that place.
Yeah.
We don't reflect on it as much.
Yeah.
Because we haven't worked there in a long time.
I imagine in that atmosphere, though, like you said, dinner theater, it's not any actor's first choice.
Yeah.
But when you work there, you because you got to make money, and I imagine it's amazing practice.
It is
for an actor. You're just every night doing something, but I imagine like you really develop a closer bond because we're all in this place where it's not our first choice, not where we'd prefer to be, but we're all making the best of it and all sharing kind of that experience, whether it's misery or jubilation. It's all kind of bonded into one. So right. I imagine you made some pretty long lasting and strong friendships.
Absolutely.
At that time.
I mean, and one of the things, I wouldn't say it wasn't everyone's not their first choice. I think because I left school after a year, came back here for a few months, worked for the city. And then, got an opportunity to just go down south for a little vacay. Yeah. And while I was there, a friend was like, "You need to audition for this. Just try it." I auditioned for a show, and I got it. Yeah. And, within a couple of months, I was down in Winnipeg. And, at the time, I was 20. And they were like, we're going to pay you $350 a week to come do shows, and you're going to have your accommodations and your food taken care of. I was like,
okay,
that's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And, and then after the show, you kind of stick around the theater and you become an ad cast member, right? And you wait for your next show or whatever. And at the time, making $6.10 an hour and somehow making that work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. A 3-bedroom apartment at that point was $925 in Calgary. It was like, oh my God, we're actually doing this, being adults, and we were 21 years old. And it was a crazy time, and I'd never been more busy and more exhausted. But I mean, when you're 20, it doesn't matter.
Nope,
it doesn't matter.
No,
you just get up and do it again. So that was it was a tough weekend for that, but a nice way to look back and reflect on these things. He was a wonderful performer and a wonderful person to be around.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Federal election coming up as we just got out of this territorial one. I know everyone's still a little, we haven't heard final results from 2 of them yet, so we're still in it.
And now there's stuff coming up.
Now there's other stuff coming up. Federal election. What is that? 21st? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, whatever. We know who most of the candidates are. We know who all the candidates are, and there will be a live Your Next NWT MP on October 14th at Yellowknife City Hall, hosted by our very own Ollie Williams. You can check that out. We will be streaming that, cabinradio.ca. But what we did want to talk about is one person that will not be there. Didn't get his paperwork done in time. There will be no Rhino Party representative in this year's federal election. Mel Leonard missed his deadline to become. He was named their candidate.
Right.
Got all the signatures, I'm told.
Yep.
But missed the deadline for filing that paperwork. So apparently his agent dropped out. This is what I heard.
Happy birthday, you lazy so-and-so.
That's right. Happy birthday to Mel Leonard as well. But couldn't get his paperwork in time. He called it. He said that he couldn't overcome the red tape required. It was like shot across the bow towards the federal government. But that's what the Rhino Party is all about. Yeah. They wanted to repeal gravity. They wanted to take over Antarctica. So if another Cold War started, we would have all the cold. It's great.
Do you think he just slept in?
Probably.
Just overslept.
I mean, that's how I would do it. And if I was the Rhino Party candidate, I'd just be like, I'm just going to sleep.
That's red tape in my life.
Someone else is going to take care of this, right?
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Yeah. So we won't see Mel's face in and amongst this whole thing.
As a former member of the Rhino Party, and of course now a current deputy MLA of Yellowknife.
That's right.
You obviously probably have some opinions about this, some thoughts.
Yeah.
This obviously doesn't represent a party that you had some association with in your past. How are you feeling about this?
I feel cheapskated. Yeah. I was looking to Mel. They asked me to be a part of it. I said I can't. I've got my duties as deputy MLA.
Yeah.
And I want to make it clear to my constituents, which is the entire city of Yellowknife.
Yeah.
I do have some credit card debt.
Admirable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody asked before now.
Nobody asked before now, so I didn't bring it up. But I do have some credit card debt. I'm working to clear it up. I've garnished my own wages in order to take care of this. See, what happened was...
That's responsibility.
That's right. Thank you. Yeah. See, what happened was somebody asked me to go on vacation, and I put it all on the credit card.
Yes.
So...
Yes. Well, you're human.
That's what happens. I just made a mistake.
That's right.
That's what I made. I made a mistake. So... But they did ask me, and I said no because I have these duties. So they said, "Well, what do you think of Mel Leonard?" I said yes immediately. That's how it went down. I'm telling you right now, factually, that's how it went down.
Right.
They asked me to pick. They said, "What do you think, Mel Leonard or this other person?" I won't name them, because they weren't picked.
Right.
And I said, "Mel Leonard is my Rhino Party candidate,
handpicked."
That's right.
And it's bad enough, that because it's all public. This is like basically the kind of thing where you have this buddy who you're like, they really need a break. I really want to help them out. Maybe I could put in a good word, get them this job with this person I know. You put in a good word, you get them the job, and then they don't show up the next day.
They don't show up for the interview.
And then you look like a jerk.
I look like a jerk.
Because you vouched for them.
Yeah. You got a voucher and you didn't use it. I was looking forward to seeing you debate against Michael McLeod and Yannick and Mary and Paul. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Or it also, Luke.
Just to get back on your feet, Mel.
Yeah, Mel, for goodness sake. We wish you well on your birthday. But Real disappointments.
That cake's going to taste a little bitter, I hope.
That's right. Well, we made it without sugar. Because
pickled the figs ourselves.
Mornings at the cabin. Happy birthday, Mel. You lazy son of a bee.
Scenes from the cabin.
Why do you think he removes their skins, Ancient Starling? Thrill me with your acumen.
It excites him. Most serial killers keep some sort of trophies from their victims.
I didn't.
No, you ate yours.
You send that through now. Oh, Agent Starling, you think you can dissect me with this blunt little tool?
No, I thought that your knowledge...
You're so ambitious, aren't you? You know what you look like with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube. A well-scrubbed, hustling rube with a little taste. Good nature's giving you length of bone, but you're not more than one generation from poor white trash, are you, Agent Starling? And that accent you tried so desperately to shed, pure West Virginia. What was your father, dear? Was he a coal miner? Did he stink of a lamp? How quickly the boys found you, all those tedious, sticky fumblings in the back seats of cars while you could only dream of getting out, getting anywhere, getting all the way to the FBI.
You see a lot, Doctor. But are you strong enough to point that high-powered perception at yourself? What about it? Why don't you look at yourself and write down what you see? Or maybe you're afraid to.
Scenes from the cabin.
Know the movie? Submit your guest to mailbox@cabinradio.ca or send us a message on Facebook for your chance to win gift certificates to some awesome Yellowknife restaurants, including the Monkey Tree Pub and Steak Restaurant, the Woodyard Brewhouse and Eatery, Flavor Trader, Copperhouse Eatery and Lounge, or Javaroma. Listen to Cabin Radio every weekday to win, or download the Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Mornings at the Cabin, MATC, hour number 2 starts right now. White Horse downtown, which is ironic because I don't think White Horse has a downtown. That's really does it? Does it?
They do.
Oh, okay, I don't care. Whatever. Yellowknife is better than White Horse. There it is. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Monday morning, joined by club president and general manager AJ.
What club is that?
The Cabin Radio Club.
The Cabin Club.
Cabin Radio FC.
MATCC.
Yeah, that's right. The mornings at the Cabin Club. Welcome back, as always. You came in here this morning, and we were talking about the Joker. You went and saw the Joker last night.
Yeah, I went to the late showing last night.
The Late Show?
Yeah,
no
I know.
wonder your eyes are so red.
Oh, yeah.
My
See
goodness.
these bags?
I can't go to the Late Show anymore. I mostly go to matinees now, because even like going to the early show, I'm not going to get home till 9. And then I'll be all jacked up from the movie. I'm not going to get in bed till 10.
And the popcorn.
the popcorn.
I won't get into it. Anyway. But yeah, the popcorn, the pop. You know, you have a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Can't go to the movies without that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen it yet, but I wanted to talk to you about it. Did the Joker make you want to become an incel and it really let people know just how important you are?
There were moments I thought about it.
Fair enough. It's that movie. That's what the movie does. According to all these reports, it's going to make people go nuts.
Yeah, I saw the reports before I went. So I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be a crazy movie. Because I'd heard that people had walked out because some of the scenes were too much.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
That's all just hype.
The guy in America who had, he was like
laughing loudly at every murder.
like Joker kind of laughing
Well,
every time the
that's
Joker
creepy.
would kill
That is
someone.
super creepy, and
Yeah.
people left because of that. Because there was the FBI, I believe, and the FBI put out warnings saying that there's credible evidence that someone is going to perform a mass act of violence at one of these screenings because they feel like the character, based on like only what I've seen, which is the preview, which is the trailer, it's about a disenfranchised, not disenfranchised, but like kind of a disillusioned white person who's lonely and has bad thoughts and it gets rejected by the girl and then finally resorts to acts of violence to get noticed.
Tale as old as time.
Well, absolutely. Tale as old as Taxi Driver anyway. So I mean it's borrowing a lot from Taxi Driver just in the vibe of the trailer, and I've heard that that's kind of what it is as well. Kind of an homage to like late 70s New York is Gotham.
Well, I assume that there is a bit of a thought of like, of course, when The Dark Knight Rises came out, there was a shooting in, what was it called?
Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah. And so I assume there was probably thoughts about
That's
is
right.
there going to be a copycat of
That's
that?
right. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, this
Yeah.
is a
lot of people. There's about 2/3 of the theater walked out,
Yeah.
and then security actually
Came in and
escorted
gone.
him out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because I mean that is disturbing the peace. That is literally what
Yeah.
that is. That is
Yeah,
disturbing. You are making people physically uncomfortable
Yeah.
within a public space. That's disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, and I
I'm
feel
sure
like that's the kind of thing where someone's just trying to
Absolutely.
be a
Absolutely.
strange weirdo.
And somebody's going to use that as like, well, freedom of speech and freedom of expression. It's like, nope, sorry, like that's not what that is. That's
Yeah.
not what that is. You are literally you're trolling an entire audience
Mm-hmm.
in public, knowing what that means to people, like
Yeah.
because people are on edge about things like that.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
yeah,
a shame.
It's
Takes away
akin
from the
to
movie.
it's akin to yelling something, like yelling fire in a movie theater or
Yeah.
something like
Oh, yeah.
that. Like
Yeah,
it's, yeah,
Totally.
it's along the same line.
Absolutely.
Crying wolf in a very sick way.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So
But the movie is good.
So
The
you
movie's
didn't do that.
Yeah, let's
but
go
the
back.
review 5 stars.
Take a couple steps back here. Yeah. The movie was great.
The fans, not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much. Yeah, and I mean, I've been obviously interested in seeing it. Joaquin Phoenix is
He does
a wonderful
so
actor.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so amazing. His work in that was just.
But I mean, even
Incredible.
the director Todd Phillips, he wrote it and he directed it, and he's famous for like Old School and for the Hangover trilogy, which never needed to be a trilogy, but and has come out and said like basically saying like, try to be a comedian nowadays. It's
Yeah.
really tough because people can't express themselves. This is kind of a response to that. It's like, this is a response to that?
Oh.
Because he, like in the movie, he tries to become a comedian.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
And then he's booed off stage or whatever. He's not taken seriously. And so, like, Todd Phillips kind of made that comment in akin to this. It's just like, we'll try being a comedian nowadays. It's really hard. It's like, no, it's really not. It's like, it's probably right now is the best time to be a comedian ever. If you have Netflix, there's literally hundreds of comedy specials where like a comedian you've never heard of who's probably been touring the country forever has their hour or their half an hour set on there now.
Yeah.
And so Netflix has given rise to a lot of comedians. It's just that like, and a lot of them, what's funny is that so many of them are like, you know, what the titles of them are kind of alluding to that whole thing.
Right.
Like, you know, unblemished, uncut or whatever. It's
Yeah.
just like trying to like push the envelope
Yeah.
because they feel they're being oppressed in some way. So it's a little,
But
a little much.
that's been the marketing for comedy for the last 20 years,
That's right.
right? Is like,
right.
oh, they're a dangerous comedian.
Well,
you
I mean,
can't
yeah.
muzzle them.
Absolutely.
They say whatever they want.
Well, and they all feel like they want to be Lenny Bruce, right? So
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce was the first one to be like charged with indecency because he swore and he
Yeah.
talked about things that were a little too real.
Yeah.
So anyway,
This is a good segue to my 2-hour Netflix special coming up. Milk Out the Nose by Andrew Goodwin.
Milk out the nose.
That's right. AJ Goodwin. What are you gonna do? It's just a picture of you doing this.
Yeah, and that's the whole set. What about airplanes? Aren't they wacky?
What are you gonna do? So the movie's good. That's what I mean. It's
very
garnering
real.
Pretty good reviews.
That's all I'll say. about it.
Real.
It's very, very real.
Okay.
Yeah, just because like Joker in the past, you know, you're with Batman, it's
Yeah.
very superhero-y.
Yeah.
Right.
But this one's very much
And
like,
then you've
oh
got-
no, this could happen.
Yeah, and then you've got and I think that's the concern.
Yeah.
Right? It's a little too
Yeah, you're
too
like,
real. Whereas
this is-
Heath Ledger seems like an ultra villain, like a super villain,
Yep.
like something that couldn't possibly exist.
Yeah.
And then you've got Jared Leto, who's an asshat. So like just
He really was an awful
he was
Joker.
a terrible
Yeah.
Joker.
The laugh.
and
was
then
the
like
worst.
sending dead rats to his castmates and used condoms and stuff.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He got
He's
real
method actor.
method with it, but he didn't go method with it. He was just a
a jerk.
jerk.
Yeah.
He was just he is a supreme douchebag.
Everyone on
Do you think
Suicide
he was
Squad.
the weirdo in the theater laughing?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
and
know.
he's got his own cult. Like that's how weird Jared Leto is, where he's basically like the Jesus figure in a cult.
But when it comes to pop punk,
Yeah.
he really is.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. It looks like he stopped off at Spencer's Gifts and then came to set. It's like, hey, I'm ready. I got my grill in, and it says damaged on my forehead. Get it? Get
No.
it?
I could get past all that. The laugh kit. Like,
The movie was terrible. So what are you gonna do? But I do want to see it. That's our review. Is that AJ said it was good?
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away.
I'm also a huge Adam Sandler fan, so just keep that in mind when I say the movie's really good.
Well, Adam Sandler's got Oscar buzz around him for his next movie, Uncut Gems.
Yeah, I've heard about that. But
Yeah.
But you
really-
knew that.
really- yeah, of course. I
You knew
did.
that.
why you
You're a
said
huge
it.
fan.
Yeah.
'Cause I put in 4,000 votes myself.
There you go. There you go. So the Joker, worth seeing, according to AJ. What are you going to do? Look out for that special on Netflix.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
It is that time of year. It's the 7th of October. It's time to start talking about Halloween. Many of you have been talking about it for quite some time. Obviously, the Halloween decos are out at, they're here at the cabin right now. I'm looking at a spider whip. And there's a few, frilly cats out there.
Yeah, it's slowly starting to make its way towards a Halloween-y feel in here.
Halloween-y. Halloween-y Bobini. And in that spirit, started watching some horror movies. So,
did you?
Last night, Phoenix, not a big fan of horror movies at all.
But you don't care.
I don't. I don't care about her needs or wants. No. I do, obviously, deeply. But her dad's in town. We were looking for something to watch last night on Netflix, and we're season 4 of Mad Men, and he's only on season 1, so we couldn't watch Mad Men.
Right.
He is watching a whole bunch of stuff, a bunch of different things, and so we decided to watch a movie. And we were scrolling through, and going through Netflix is just painful because you can't pick anything.
It's just too many choices.
Oh, God.
It's awful.
We've said it before. We'll say it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But we decided to watch Contagion, which is one of the most terrifying movies of all time.
Okay.
So Contagion is a Steven Soderbergh film with just chock full of talent. Gwyneth Paltrow's in it, Matt Damon, Lawrence Fishburne, who else is it? Elliot Gould. All the young people like Elliot Gould. Kate Winslet's in it.
It's a scary name.
It's Elliot Gould. Anyway, so it deals with a novel virus outbreak in the world, and it starts in China and starts to spread out. So, but it's not like an apocalyptic kind of race against time outbreak movie where it's just everyone's got guns and it's really plowing through things with Humvees and being we can't let this spread. It'll blah blah blah. It'll kill and it's isolated to a town. This is
shoot the virus.
Shoot the virus. Shoot the monkey. Find that monkey. It's definitely more grounded in reality and what it would mean if something like this did break out. Something that would be more serious than, say, Ebola.
Right.
Because Ebola is no longer a novel virus. They've identified it. They know how to vaccinate. So if Ebola did have another outbreak, it would still be serious because it's a very serious illness. But there are ways to kind of mitigate that spread and also to kind of isolate it.
Right.
Which we've seen a few years ago. This is a novel virus, meaning that it's something that was created by chance.
It's a well-read virus.
It's no. That's not what I meant.
Not what I meant.
No,
okay.
It hadn't existed before. It exists only in this instance, but then propagates tremendously and spreads very quickly.
So Renaissance virus.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Many niches.
I'm on the right track now?
That's right. Thank you very much. Anyway, so it deals with the spread of this incredibly deadly virus that's incubation period is less than 5 days. So you get it and you're dead within 5 days.
That's not long.
That's not. No, it isn't.
I see the gravity of this situation now.
Can you sense it?
I can.
And
oh my God!
So it's edited. It's edited very. It's got a very quick pace to it. It's got very kind of
it would
disturbing
have to.
music.
5 days, Jesse.
All right. Okay. Anyway, so it's not scary in the context of there's an axe murderer or there's something like that. It's scary in the context of this could actually happen.
Yeah,
and it does things have very dreading music, very not dreadful, but dreadful, but not in a bad way. Dread-inducing music, and but had lingering shots on people touching things and touching their face, and, all the things that kind of go with how easily these things spread.
Gross.
And it makes it very, very scary because it feels like this is what would happen if something like this did happen.
A cootie outbreak.
A cootie outbreak. That's right. And how it spreads, and it sounds. I'm gonna. Way of describing it sounds kind of boring. It's the logistics of containing a virus of that sort. So spread across many different characters in many different countries, and trying to coordinate something like that. And there's a line that Lawrence Fishburne says in it about the U.S. containing the U.S. He's there's 50 different states and 50 different health boards and 50 different protocols
and anti-vaxxers.
So all of that mixed with a bunch of other misinformation. Some people don't get it. Some people are immune to it.
Right.
Some people do get it and are not cured. Are cured by a homeopathic remedy, and some people in need of vaccine. So all of these things make for a completely kind of muddled response to this, and that's the terrifying part. The terrifying part is that the sickness. If a sickness comes along and you can vaccinate against it, great.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have a vaccine. and the response to it is just not quick enough because it can't be because the incubation period is so small.
Yeah.
So not your traditional horror movie, but definitely terrifying. And so that's how we started our Halloween movie marathon of horror movies.
Probably the scariest enemy of all, a virus, because you can't just punch it in the face.
That's right. Can't punch it in the face.
No.
Can't, tie it to a boulder and throw it in the bottom of a lake.
No. Can't do any of these
That's
things.
right.
We got to work together.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
That's the terrifying part. That is the terrifying part is
Yeah.
that this is the most terrifying part about it is that everyone has to work together. No one wants to. And, everybody's out for their own thing because they're trying to protect their own people. So trying to get the world to unite against a common enemy is incredibly hard.
Too soon, Jesse. We haven't even hit Thanksgiving yet.
I know.
And you're already scaring everybody.
I am scaring everybody. But here's the thing. Well, here's the thing. We were talking about it last night, and her father said, "Well, you live in a pretty isolated place." And I was like,
"Yeah." And
I couldn't help myself. I was like, "That brings in tens of thousands of tourists every year." And Phoenix was like, "Stop it!" I was like, "It's true. It's true."
You're not helping, Jesse.
Yeah, that's right.
Not helping.
We're not averse.
No.
Not averse. So that was so I want to talk about horror movies. And you've got a big movie list. Mm-hmm. What are you guys going to start watching specific kind of horror movies?
Yeah, I might get into well, you said there's a Haunting of Hill House season 2.
Season 2's got to be out soon.
I
don't know when
thought that was a one-off. I didn't even know they were doing
they made
more
another
of that.
season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, watch that. I love
it's
the
not
first
going to
season
be
of
as
that.
effective.
No, you don't think so?
No.
It's not going to be good? No.
I don't know. It might be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Be interesting to check out anyway.
I suppose.
Yeah. Might wait till after Thanksgiving.
I guess, yeah. Do you wait till after Thanksgiving
A little
to start getting Halloweeny?
respect, please.
Oh, right. Yeah, for the Thanksgiving. Yes, of course. Yeah, this yes, that elevated holiday. But do you wait until after Thanksgiving to do Halloween stuff?
Not necessarily.
No.
But, it's only a week away.
What,
Come on.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait. Hold off. 1 week.
No.
All right.
My turkey's going to be covered in candy corn.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.